Welcome back to the next part of semiconductor diodes. I know this is like a super long series of videos, but work with me, people. This is quite a big segment, yeah, diodes. Okay, so previously I talked about LEDs, yeah, how they work and how we do certain calculations involving LEDs. But for now, I'm going to tell you what happens when we put a bunch of LEDs together. Specifically, we put 7 LEDs together. What happens? Okay. It's a very useful component that we have because we see it in almost every part of our daily lives. Yeah. So 7-segment displays, they're good for displaying numbers as well as alphabets, actually. Yeah. And what many of you may not know is that they actually have this little dot here for the decimal place. Okay. So by switching on the different segments, if you notice here, oops, let me erase that away. By switching on different segments, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By switching on the 7 different segments, what I can do is that I can display numbers 0 to 9. Now, a lot of questions, a lot of people always ask me, sir, how do I represent 6? Okay, 6, a lot of people think that it is just like so. Okay, but always remember a 6 has this little top thing there as well. Remember that. All right, same for a 9. It's got this here. Okay, so what we have to do is that we have to turn on and off certain segments. So if I label this A, B, C, D, E, F, and the middle one G, if I want a number 0, I have to have 1, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so I turn on everything except G. If I want 1, I will turn on B and C. So just A, no, B, C. That's all. If I want 2, I will turn on A, B, G. Okay. What's this one? A, B, C, D, E. Okay, to have number 2. All right, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. So there are 2 types of 7-segment displays that we have. One is called the common anode, and the other is called the common cathode. All right. So you have to understand its pin configuration and the internal circuitry and how it works. So take a look at the common anode first. Common anode. Yeah. So you look here, there is something called a common there. Okay. Common. And what this means is that this is the common pin that ties up all the 7-segment displays. So if you notice here, let's follow this line down. So it's connected to A, is connected to F, is connected to G, it is connected to B, and you follow this line, it's connected to the decimal place. It is also connected to E, it is connected to D. Okay, and then it goes back down to common. So as the name suggests, it is a common anode. Common anode, anode being positive. Okay, so what I would do is that maybe I'll connect 5 volts here. Okay, 5 volts here. So all the anode of every LED will have 5 volts. Okay, so that means to make, let's say, A light up, to make A light up, current must flow from here to here and back out here again, right? So to make A light up, the current, once again, I say, must flow across. So therefore, you'll learn, and this is the basic electricity information. Current flows from high potential to low potential. So if I wanted to make A light up, I should have a 0 volts here. Okay, a 0 volts means here is 5 volts, here is 0 volts. Current will flow this way and lights up the LED for A. Okay, so for a common anode to light up each individual LED, you must put a 0 volt. Okay, so where is it? The segment to be lit must be put to 0 volts. Okay, but what they don't show is that you should add a current limiting resistor to it. All right, so if I have here to put to 0, before you reach 0, you should put a current limiting resistor before you put to 0 volts. Okay? Can? So if I don't want it to light up, if I do not want it to light up, let's say I don't want E to light up, I'll just put it to 5 volts. Okay, so segment E will not light up. All right, so let's say I want to light up a 0. Remember, common 5, common 5. All right, so I want to light A up. To light A up, remember the current is flowing from the anode to the cathode. So it goes up here. It must be a low 0 volts. So any segment that I want to be lit up, I will put a 0. So A will be 0, B will be 0, C will be 0, D will be 0, E will be 0, F will be 0, but G, if you look here at G, I put a 5 volts here. Okay, so that's why G will not light up, because 5 volts and 5 volts does not have a potential difference, current will not flow. But what if I have a common cathode? So very similar, very, very similar. I also have 7 LEDs. I also have a common at both ends. I also have a decimal point, a decimal place. But this time, the common is connected to the cathode. Okay, the common is connected to the cathode. So that means this will be 0 volts. And if I want A to light up, I want this fella to be a higher potential than here for the current to flow in this direction. Therefore, I will put through a current limiting resistor 5 volts. Okay, and so on and so forth. So this is what I said earlier. The common pins will be put to 0 volts. The segments to be lit will be 5 volts. And to switch off that segment, you just put it to 0 volts. Okay, so same thing. To light up a 0, now the common is 0, and I want to light up A, I put A to 5, and so on and so forth. Okay? Okay, so review question. Pause the video now. Try it yourself first before coming back and looking at the answer. Okay? Okay, so hopefully you did pause the video, and let's see. List the segments that need to be lit so that a digit 3 is displayed. So a digit 3 looks like this. Here, 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 here. Okay? Now this is A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So to display a 3, I need A, B, C, D, and G segments to be lit. Okay, next, this is now very important. You have to make sure that it is, so now they say it is a common anode. A common anode means that it is 5 volts here. Okay, to make sure that segment A is lit, I need to put segment A to be 0 volts. Is B lit? B is not lit, so I'll put it to 5 volts. 5 and 5 has no potential difference, so current will not flow through B. Segment C is lit, so C, I will put it to, oops, sorry, confused myself. Segment C, I'll put it to 0 volts. What about D? D is lit, so I will put it to 0 volts. E is not lit, I'll put it to 5 volts. F is lit, so I'll put it to 0 volts. G is lit, so I'll also put it to 0 volts. The decimal place looks like it is not lit, so I'll put it to 5 volts. Okay, so hopefully you understand how I make use of an LED, put 7 LEDs together to make a 7-segment display. And remember, there are 2 kinds of displays, 7-segment displays that you need to consider, whether it's a common anode or a common cathode, and how we light up each individual segments, depending on whether it's a common anode or a common cathode. Okay. Once again, if you are not sure, please review the video. And the next part is we will be talking about something special called a Zener diode. Okay. For now, that's it from me. Take care.